Hello.
And welcome to Film
Bastards. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks, and welcome to episode 537 of Film Bastards. My name's Ian Loring, and as always, I'm joined by...
Becky Foster, hello everybody.
And Matt Foster, hello everybody.
Hello, one and all. Okay, so what have we got coming up for you this week? Can't remember what we said we were definitely going to review last week, so never mind. But the only thing we are reviewing this week is Challengers, Luca Guadagnino's sex tennis thing. We'll get into it. We'll also talk some what we've been up to. There's at least one trailer I can think of. It's only been 5 days since we actually recorded in real time, so I don't know, there might be some movie news. We'll see what we can pick up. So hey, it might not be the most jam-packed show this week. I feel like we'll probably make up for it next week, but also unfortunately the schedule this week was just Mark and Bex asked if we could record Monday. I was like, yeah, my work week is a dickhead, so Sunday would be really, really good. So there we are. Apologies, folks. Life is getting in the way, but there'll definitely be more next week, for sure. But anyway, we are a Pod Syndicate podcast. Do listen to other like-minded shows such as Gin Stroker vs. Punter, The Rewatch Project, Entertainment Landfill. I believe it is Entertainment Landfill again now.
It is now, yeah.
Yep. The Good, Bad, the Odd, and others. And yeah, let's get into it. What movie news is there? They're
doing a sequel to Priscilla, Queen of the Desert with the original cast.
Are they?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It seems like when I read that, I started reading it. I was like, "Oh no, please don't." Then when I read that it was the original cast and it's basically a "what are they up to now?" I kind of thought, do you know what? That could actually work.
Yeah.
That could actually be quite a fun, probably quite fucking depressing movie, to be honest.
Yeah, I hope they don't put too much budget on it, but
No.
if it's costed right, then yeah, it kind of feels like they'll wash their faces with that, and they've obviously got a story to tell, because otherwise why the hell would you do a sequel to that particular film?
Well, that's it. It's not like Terence Stamp, Hugo Weaving, or Guy Pearce kind of need a payday, or are people who would sort of chase a payday. They're three, actors who are doing perfectly fine. It would seem like the idea of it is that an idea has come at them and they've gone, do you know what? Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, good on them. Like you say, fuck it. Yeah, why not? God, what else? I don't know. I don't think there is there anything else.
Don't know. Like you say, it's literally it's so recently since we last recorded.
Just having a quick look on Hollywood Reporter now, just to check. Yeah, no, not particularly.
Incidentally, Stephen Elliott, who is the writer-director of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, who is writing and directing the sequel. The last film he made was in 2018, and it was a comedy drama called Swinging Safari, starring Guy Pearce, Kylie Minogue, and Radha Mitchell. And I haven't read anything about it, but I'm guessing from the title we can guess.
Great.
Yep. Tracking that bad boy down.
Sony have made a couple of release date changes. Kraven the Hunter.
It's now December, yeah.
Yeah, has been pushed back again and is now December. So it was originally supposed to be, I want to say, October last year.
Yep.
But they pushed it back because of the strikes, which I think is fair enough. You definitely need the talent to promote this shit, so fair dues. But yeah, they've moved it into what the Hollywood Reporter call prime winter spot of December 13th. It kind of feels... I don't know. It kind of feels to me like the back end of August was a horrible time to put that film out.
Yeah.
If they were going to show any faith in it by putting it in the Christmas corridor, maybe they'll get bums on seats because people will be generally going to the cinema.
Yeah, it might then looked at it and gone, do you know what? It's December. People might go to the cinema to see this action movie we've got with the new Bond in it.
And also, Venom: The Last Dance is out in October, so maybe they're kind of hoping that it can ride the coattails of the likely success of Venom, as opposed to Kraven the Hunter stinking the place up before Venom comes out.
That's a fair point. Yeah, probably.
So-
is that, yeah.
Feels pretty smart. But yeah, it's taking the date that was previously occupied by The Karate Kid, a crossover event movie, which it is to star Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
So yeah, and like I think it's actually like in the Cobra Kai.
Canon, yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking fascinating. Fair play.
There is an element of fair play for that one, isn't there? It's wild, but it kind of like, go on then. You know, Cobra Kai's has been really quite well received and is really popular.
Yeah.
You know, why not?
Yeah, quite. I've got to say, going back to Kraven the Hunter, it's an interesting cast. Ariana DeBose, Alessandro Nivola, Christopher Abbott, Fred Heckinger, and Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
Like,
it's an odd one, isn't it? I mean, our boy Fred and Chris Creepy Abbott in the same movie.
Chris Creepy Abbott, that's mean.
I mean, I think Chris Creepy Abbott would be fine with that. I think I think he'd probably get business cards with that on it.
probably jacks off to people calling him creepy.
Yeah. He's probably shouting now at his AirPods as he's wandering around Creepyville, just going, finally somebody gets me.
Yep.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I don't know. It's directed by JC Chandor as well, and like he doesn't hit all the time, but you know, I don't know. I just feel like the vibes on that are not nearly as noxious as they were for Madam Web. And that sucks in a way because Madam Web is a female, like, led both behind the camera and in front of superhero movie that just also happened to be absolutely incompetent.
That's the problem, yeah.
But yeah. I suppose we probably don't need to talk too much on Harvey Weinstein having his conviction overturned due to a technicality.
Yeah.
He's still like guilty of I believe several counts in LA court, so he's still in prison. Apparently he's hospitalized now, but it's a really, 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 really spicy one, that. But at the same time, if you got to make sure. I'm stealing this from Scott Galloway on the Pivot podcast late last week, but you got to make sure that your shit's up to snuff in terms of due process. Like, you know, it sucks and he'll be retrialed. I'm sure he'd be found guilty. But if they did shit wrong, I mean, you know, in the end of the day, if it wasn't Harvey Weinstein and if it was a different crime that's not as emotive, you know, then you'd likely be saying somebody deserves the right to a fair trial. He deserves the right to a fair trial and to probably be found guilty.
That's it, yeah.
So, you know, but yeah, really, that's disappointing. But like I say, he's already, you know, he's been found guilty in a different court, and that seems to have stuck. So, fuck it. And also, he's probably going to die soon. So,
And he's probably going to be found guilty again in the retrial. It's just
Exactly.
shitty that the people who had to go out there and give evidence have to go through all that again.
yeah, that is exactly it. Aaron Sorkin's planning a Social Network sequel. Let me get some more detail on that.
Is Fincher back or is...
I think it's just him planning on writing it. Yeah, and it's going to be about how the Facebook algorithm has impacted democracy.
Spicy
He-
meatball.
He quotes, "I blame Facebook for January 6th." When asked why he blames a social media company for the Donald Trump mob storming the US Capitol, Sorkin replied, "You're going to need to buy a movie ticket." I mean, fucking hell. Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's funny. But yeah, okay, cool. That would be cool if Fincher came back for that. But Sorkin would probably end up directing the fucking thing himself. But hey, interesting. Trailers.
Right, what have we got? I mean, I've only got one. However, we did see a new trailer for Bike Riders, didn't we?
Yes. Sons of Anarchy, the movie.
Yes.
Yes.
And so yeah, it's a new extended. Well, a new.
Trailer number 2, or whatever.
Yeah, trailer 2 or 3 or whatever
Yeah.
it is now. That just looks like it's going to be good on the big screen.
Real interesting summer counter programming that is.
Yeah, it is. It's a set of Bex. Somebody asked Kurt Sutter about it and said, are you a little bit, pissed off that Jeff Nichols essentially has made this, essentially what looks like a Sons of Anarchy sort of prequel movie? And his response was, "No, it looks fucking great. Jeff literally spoke to me about it before he made it, and I gave him loads of research that we did for Sons of Anarchy."
Good stuff.
So it's like I think it's great, and we're looking forward to seeing it. He said, and plus you're gonna get loads of people who are gonna go and watch this hot, cool fucking movie with the really fucking good-looking guy and Tom Hardy in it, and then are gonna probably end up just going home and Disney Plusing Sons of Anarchy. It's
Well,
great.
That's it. Like, if someone watches that and really fucking loves it, they're not going home and checking out Sons of Anarchy,
That's
are
it.
they?
So it's that,
Which
but
has also got a really good-looking guy and Ron Perlman in it.
yeah, yes.
So,
Yeah, it looks good. What else did we get trailers for at the actual cinema? I feel like it was a decent one today. I feel like because we went to an early screening, they just didn't put loads of Cineworld adverts on it. That just cut me arse.
Love Lies Bleeding.
Yeah, Love Lies Bleeding.
Heavy keen for that. I think that looks really good.
Kingdom of Planet of the Apes.
Yes.
There was another one. I can't remember what the other one was. Oh, The Watched.
Yes.
The what?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'd
That
actually
looks...
watched the trailer for that previously, and yeah, I think it looks interesting.
Good, yeah. Good trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing, I'm pretty optimistic about. That's a June release as well.
Yeah. It looks. It's a good trailer for an interesting premise. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the one trailer then, I'm assuming it's the same one.
It is.
Old Russie is fucking trolling us here.
It fucking is.
It's not the Pope's Exorcist 2. It's The Exorcism, where he plays an actor playing a priest in an exorcism film who himself gets possessed.
I get the feeling like Russell Crowe accidentally was doing the Pope's Exorcist and then accidentally signed on to do The Exorcism because he
Thinking it
thought
was
it
a
was
sequel.
something to do with the Pope's Exorcist and so just said yes and then just got too far down into it that was like, I've got to make this movie now, haven't I, with the guy from Frasier.
And then thought, do you know what? Fuck it, while I'm here, craft services.
Yeah. I'm going to have a great time.
Yeah.
I mean, this trailer looks like it's the whole film.
Are you watching it going, I genuinely, there's sometimes you watch a trailer and you think, I can't tell if this is a Funny or Die sketch or not. It's an oddity, that one. I mean, I watched the fuck out of it because it's a Russell Crowe movie, and of course.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
a
I mean,
Catholic
oh-
shit movie. We love Catholic shit, don't we?
Yes.
Obviously, we'll watch. I am a bit like, is this going to get a theatrical release, or is it going to pop up on Amazon in about 3 months?
I think this one could pop up on Amazon.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Looks all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I will. If it's out in the cinema, I will go and watch it out of pure curiosity. Although I also wouldn't mind if it literally just arrived on on Amazon and I accidentally scrolled to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, exactly.
Matt
all right.
Funkel's getting an Arrow 4K. I think we can call that news.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. It's part of their new co-distribution deal that they got with Warner Brothers for certain titles. So the fact the Man from U.N.C.L.E. was the first one is interesting, but I think it does kind of show that there is a bit of a cult around that film, and that thing will sell well, and there's good features on it.
Yeah, I think also for someone like Arrow, it's very much Guy Ritchie will give them features. Guy Ritchie will be like, I reckon I could do an interview for that. I reckon I could. What is it? Come out my pub. We'll do it there. And it'll be something like that. Or come to my garden. Have you seen my sweet barbecue setup I've got? Did you watch The Gentleman?
Yeah. No, it's yeah. I'm happy that Arrow continue doing interesting shit and random shit.
Yeah.
And also, they had started to get into a habit of just reissuing their previous Blu-rays in 4K, so it's nice to see them releasing new shit.
Yeah. And they're not just going, oh, you've got the Blu-ray for this, here's the 4K.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, good. Alright, well, hey, look, I mean, I think this might be a relatively lengthy review. I don't know. Much like Josh O'Connor's penis, apparently. Challengers is directed by Luca Guadagnino and stars Zendaya, Mike Feist, and Josh O'Connor. Tashi, a former tennis prodigy, turned coach, turned her husband into a champion. But to overcome a losing streak, he needs to face his ex-best friend and Tashi's ex-boyfriend. Yeah, sure. Kind of feels like that's making it appear like it's a arts movie where it's really fucking not. So there are a couple of women a couple rows in front of me who I swear to God must not have read anything about what this film was about. Because they were making their surprise very obviously known. And that was both funny and really fucking annoying. But there was enough funny that I didn't say anything. There were only 4 people in the entire screening. It was the 2 women, me, and another guy who walked out about an hour and a half in. And I think he'd read the pre-release material and maybe was disappointed by the fact that, you know, I mean, it's a drama about sex, but leading off, Mark, did you find Challengers sexy at all?
Challengers is racy or sexy to people who think that Doggy is adventurous. It is like it's just not.
No.
It's just not very sexy. It's funny. The thing about Challengers is, when we came out with this, I said to Bex, the first hour is intriguing. The next 40 minutes are baggy, and the last 20 minutes are downright boring. To the point of where Guadagnino, at points it's like he got bored at the end of it and started going, I better start doing something interesting with the fucking camera. And by that point,
start doing something interesting with the visuals because the story's not fucking doing it.
And by that point, I was there going, "You're too late, mate. you're too late to strap a GoPro to a fucking tennis ball and think that that's going to make this interesting.
Plus, slow motion sweat is not sexy or interesting or remotely appealing. Especially when it's not dripping off those bland fucking faces.
And then there was certain bits where you're watching it and going, all right, that's interesting. I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing there. And then he'll literally outright showing you going, you've gone from being interesting in showing me what you're doing with a visual touch to just, you're literally now showing me it. And it's a little bit like somebody telling you a joke, you're laughing at, and then explaining the joke to you stops it from being funny. So I was saying to you, like, the bit where, all spoilers all the time, Zendaya and Josh O'Connor are kissing in the car park, and you can see on the billboard behind, you can see Mike Feist is literally watching it. And you go, that's interesting. And then it pans out and literally fucking focuses on the billboard. And you go, yeah, it's no longer interesting now.
There is very much the I know writers who use subtext and they're all cowards approach to filmmaking as challenges.
There is, yeah. That's kind of it. I don't think anyone, and we'll get more into it, I don't think anyone's bad in it, but I don't think anyone is that great in it. I don't think that like I say, movies don't have to have sex in them to be sexy, but if you're making a sexy movie, at least try and make it sexy at some point. There's very little... I don't believe in any way that at any point Zendaya is interested in anybody in the movie other than Zendaya. And
I don't think she even is particularly that interested. I think once she's fucking done her knee and she's lost all interest in everything, and her bored fucking demeanour demonstrates that perfectly.
But she's getting a little bit too bored and bratty and things.
Yeah, well, I said that to you.
Yeah.
It's a bit concerning that the sort of few grown-up serious movies that she's done, she comes across as just a brat. Just a brat in them.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'll let someone else speak for a while. I don't think it's... I wasn't...
There was one bit I really did enjoy about this movie, just to interject for 1 second, when Mike Feist gets hit in the dick.
That was funny.
That was pretty funny.
That was very funny.
Sorry, carry on.
It's fine. Like I said, we'll get more into it. It's fine. But my overwhelming feeling on it at the end of it was that it?
For a movie that's been billed as being like really steamy and raunchy and stuff like that, it's like, when? At what single point is this movie remotely like sexy? And it's probably the fact that the boys have got chemistry between them.
Yeah.
But then that's never taken anywhere. That's never really developed. The whole kind of overarching, like, this film has pinned an awful lot on, well, it's Zendaya. Everybody wants to fuck Zendaya. So yes, I can see it from that point of view. Zendaya doesn't seem to want to fuck either of them particularly, and the whole thing of like, oh yeah, well she's ended up with this guy because he's the more dependable one that she can like manipulate more and mould more, but she's really got this great chemistry and she's really, really passionate about this other guy. There is no indication that she even fucking would like spit on him if he was on fire. They don't seem to like each other. She doesn't seem to like her husband. There is no chemistry between her with either of them.
No.
So so you don't buy it, because the central conceit is supposed to be that she's torn between the sensible choice and the emotional choice, but she doesn't seem to particularly like him. So why would she risk this nice, comfortable life she's got for a tryst in the back of the car with some guy that she could take him or leave him?
It's a sexy movie without any sex, and a love triangle without a triangle.
Or love.
Yeah.
Or lust, even. I mean, you can sell a love triangle on lust alone, but
I mean, there's lust at the start when the boys are like looking at her and literally it's almost like they're doing the cartoon eyes sticking out,
Yeah.
like poking out, and like, I mean, which is very funny and is absolutely intentional.
Yeah. But yeah, it very much is like that. It's quite clever, actually.
I mean, look, it's interesting this, because I kind of like said a couple of my broad thoughts to Mark, but it's interesting that I think we're all in the same boat on this one.
Well, I know you're going to get into it, but my God, the score.
Yeah. Look, and this is so. Look, spoiler alert. I don't think it's shit. I think it's definitely not shit. It's engaging enough while it's on, but man, do people need to calm down about it. I mean, people need to calm down about it. The score, I swear, Reznor and Ross are just straight up taking the piss.
Yeah, they must be by the end.
Like, but I mean, also just the fact that the score itself seems to be one track played like maybe actually like 20-25 times during the course of the film. Like
Possibly because they keep on like stopping it midway through a scene and then picking it up again 3 seconds later.
yeah, and then like somebody will be talking and then it will just kick in again. I mean, like that last 10 minutes or so, I was very, very done with the film.
That's exactly what I said to Becky when we came out. I was like, with the bit with the tennis ball and the markings there, I was just sort of said to Becky, we know you're going to do it. You're not teasing now. You know, all you're doing is the girl's going dry and the erection's disappearing. That is what you're doing right now.
Yeah. And it I mean, the ending as well. Like, okay, so the boys then kind of almost seem to hug it out, and it just like, what? But how? Why does that make any sense? Like, I thought Mike Feist was like devastated. Zendaya's just glad that she's finally seen some real fucking tennis.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it kind of feels like all of her sexual needs would have been met if she just, I don't know, watched someone other than her husband play tennis. Because that's all she needs. She just needs some real fucking good tennis.
That's it.
Even, you know, obviously it's like the whole tennis is a euphemism for sex. I get it. It just, I did not care at all about any of them. I don't know whether you're supposed to, but yeah, you just, I don't know, you're watching this couple of hours of flashbacks, flash forwards, occasionally getting a little bit lost in like, where the fuck are we now? And yeah, just people like Zendaya making weird decisions. But I thought it was well acted. I thought it looked good. I mean, I gave it a 3.5 on Letterboxd. To be honest, I think it's a 3. It's a 3.
I'm a 3 on it. In the sense that it's not badly made. It's just a little bit. Really?
The thing is,
is it? And that's such a real shame because like 2 years ago, Bones and All was my favourite film of that year.
Yeah. I mean, hey, look, Guadagnino, I am so fucking up on that and down on that dude. It's ridiculous. I mean, like, he inspired the Suspiria rating, for fuck's sake. You know, but it's just, I think I'm also reacting to people's reactions to it, where it honestly, just as I say to people talking about Civil War on Reddit that they need to go out and touch grass, people talking about challenges just need to get fucking laid in whatever way you see fit. You know, whatever turns you on. If challenges is provoking that kind of reaction in people, I just don't get how. Other than, yeah, there's some bisexual chemistry in it. And that's the thing. I almost feel like as well, if it was entirely hetero, I don't think people online would be finding it as sexy and whatnot.
even,
It's just a lot of people online like boys kissing. What can I say?
Guadagnino, there's inference that at points the boys are both attracted to each other, but it doesn't really go anywhere with it.
No, I mean you do that bit where they just start making out with each other and Zendaya smiles.
But then there's nothing else after that.
But no, the rest of it, they're battling over her.
But
aren't they?
The thing is, they're not even really battling over her, because it's over these 13-year period. She's seen Josh O'Connor once, and Mike Feist hasn't spoken to him.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's this love triangle. It's not really, is it?
No.
It's she banged her ex twice. It's just the more you break it down, that it genuinely is. It's got all of the character padding of a Wikipedia first paragraph.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's an element of, I think that there was a point in the film where Zendaya's just fucked Josh O'Connor in the back of a car because either she just really wanted to stay in her unfulfilled marriage, or she was really attracted to him at that exact moment. One or the other, right? Of that, you're still not entirely sure which one it is. I don't even think she's that fucking sure. I just think
it's meant to be that she's overcome with attraction to her, but you just don't get it off her.
No, I just think that she was just horny, and that's fine. And then she comes back, and Mike Feisty's asleep in the kids' room, and there's that there, and she walks into another room in the hotel suite they've got, and the thing is, my brain just went, at what point does, it might just be a for me thing, at what point does Zendaya start looking like a fucking grown-up? Because she still looks like a child. Not like a child, but she still looks like a very young woman, and she's like nearly 30.
I don't think she does look that young.
But she does, but I looked at it and thought, I don't believe that you are a person who will have a child and are in your 30s.
She looks young to have a kid that age.
She's supposed to be at this point 30, 31. And she doesn't look like that. It doesn't. Not even the physical appearance, the mannerism. There's no. They don't put any kind of emotional weight of years into her, but they do a bit into Josh O'Connor and into Mike Feist.
I don't know that I agree with that.
I just don't.
I think she sells the adult her quite well.
I don't think she's bad in it. I just don't really.
I don't think she's very good in it. I'm just saying I don't agree with you on this particular point.
I didn't quite buy it from her. I mean, the problem is she doesn't like anything in it apart from those few moments of those few bits of tennis, like Ian said. She doesn't like having a kid. She spends the entire time just palming a kid off to her mum, which is very intentional from the film.
Well, it's supposed to be that tennis is everything
Yeah.
to her, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I get it.
But I don't know. It's so shallow. There's nothing to the story. There's nothing to the characters, and I can take that if it's supposed to be a sexy drama and it's sexy, but it's not. The fact that they decided to pair, I mean, acting ability aside, Zendaya she's a beautiful woman. She just is, objectively. The fact that they've decided to put that alongside Mike fucking Feist and that guy from The Crown is just baffling to me.
I don't know. I think old Feisty Boy's definitely got something.
No.
He does.
He looks like he'd get beaten up easily. He's just so fucking wet.
He looks like he cried.
But then
afterwards.
maybe this is another thing, like that guy from what's that cooking show that everyone thinks is super fucking hot. That's also in Iron Claw.
Oh, Jeremy Allen White,
Yeah,
Bruce Springsteen.
He's ugly as fuck, and people seem to disagree with me on that. So maybe I'm just wrong on Mike Feist, but I don't think so. They couldn't get two boys that actually looked like they might have a chance with Zendaya. But then you look at Tom Holland. Tom Holland doesn't look like he'd have a chance with Zendaya either, and he's actually IRL with her.
Tom Holland literally says that.
Boy can dance though.
Yeah.
I think that's.
I mean, you gotta respect that though.
Yeah.
Like the guy's just got fucking charisma.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
like, I mean, they've been together for years as well, so he's probably a good dude. You know, like so.
Somebody asked him about that, and they, is it weird, challenges being Zendaya being with, and he said, what, those two guys who were way hotter and way bigger than me? And he was like, he's like, no, doesn't make me feel bad at all. I'm just going to check to see where my girlfriend is at the moment. And it's just like, you're then going, yeah, I can see why she's with you now.
See, this is the thing with Zendaya. I wish she was a better actress because she seems really lovely in real life and real fun and like really down to earth and all this kind of shit that you want from someone.
I don't think she's bad. There's nothing I've seen her in yet. No, I genuinely don't think she's bad. It's just there's nothing I've seen her in yet where I've gone, all right, fair enough. And you know what? She might just be one of those actresses that I enjoy screen time with,
Yeah.
but doesn't need to fucking blow you away.
I like her in stuff.
Yeah.
I just don't necessarily think she's a great actress.
Yeah. No, I think
But I think she brings something to a movie that she's in.
she's really engaging to watch. But I am always palpably aware that I am watching Zendaya.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah, look, mild. It is actually a mild, definitely not shit. I'm pretty disappointed.
Shit for me.
Are you shit?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, okay.
Fair enough.
It doesn't bring anything to the table.
Jord is gonna wish he was on so fucking bad.
Well, they should have been here, shouldn't they?
Nice.
I don't know where I am. I don't know whether I'm touching cloth or definitely not shit. Because the thing is, I don't think it's shit. So it's definitely not shit. But I am very close to touching cloth on it. Because I don't think it's shit. I don't. So I'm definitely not shit. But it's... Also, as well, I am very much in the sense of... Honestly, if this is what classes as fucking white hot sexy nowadays, it's like, Jesus Christ, you people wouldn't have coped with 90s thrillers.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's because we've been raised on that shit.
Yeah.
And we just look at this and go, where's the eating out someone on top of a car? What's going on?
Yeah. Let me introduce you to Body of Evidence. The thing is, I'm not saying for a movie to be sexy, Willem Dafoe needs to eat out Madonna on a fucking on a car bonnet. I'm not saying that that's what needs to be sexy. I'm not even saying that movies that are sexy need to have sex scenes in them per se, but they need to have people who look like they actually are enjoying a moment together.
There needs to be chemistry, and there's just none in this apart from between Josh O'Connor and Mike Fiennes, and then that goes nowhere.
I mean, yeah, if they'd have boned at the end of it.
Yeah, maybe.
If the end of it had been them hugging over the thing, and then the next bit was one of them just fucking absolutely going to town on the other one in the fucking locker room, I'd have been like, 5 stars.
Yeah. I think they'd have been happier with her out of the equation.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, she doesn't seem that nice.
They were tennising before she came along.
They
They didn't need her.
they were both going to have a really lovely time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just shit.
I get the fact that I get that they're trying to do fucking subtext of the I don't want to be a homewrecker, and she wrecks their relationship and wrecks her relationship with him and her relationship with him.
But the thing is, the film doesn't get you to buy in enough to actually give a shit. I don't care who wins that final fucking tennis match. I don't give a shit. It's too much fucking... It's like an hour of just sweaty slow-mo and back and forth tennis balls.
The tennis match towards the end is a little bit like, oh, come on, Lucia.
It fails on every level, this film, for me. I'll watch it again. I'll give it another chance. But as it stands, it's just everything it attempts to do, it fails. So I have to give it a shit rating.
Fair. I'm definitely not shit on it. But yeah, 3 out of 5. Just, I wish it had been better.
Same.
Yeah. I'm just a little bit like that. I just kind of, I wish it had either been sexier, steamier, more drama, more thriller, more anything other than just meh. Just a bit meh.
Yeah, fair. Okay. I'm sure we pissed off a lot of people with that, but never mind. Okay, so let's move on. Mark, Bex, what you guys been up to?
What have we watched? We've watched a couple. Which 3 together actually this week, haven't we?
Yes.
Yes. So go on, Bex.
Okay. I don't know how we landed on this one.
Jaws talked about it a couple of weeks ago, and I remember that I haven't watched it literally since the mid-90s.
That wasn't the one I was going to say, but
Oh,
yeah,
which
we can
one?
go with that one. We watched The Prophecy with Christopher Walken playing
Yeah.
the angel Gabriel,
Yep.
which, you know,
Feels right.
feels fine.
Feels right.
Not at all weird.
Yeah.
Very, very black-eyed hair. Or
I mean, there's some strong Christopher Walken hair going on in this.
There is. Not enough Christopher Walken voice, though. Like,
Not in a Christopher Walken voice, no.
a lot of sniffing.
A lot of sniffing, yeah. It's a sniffy movie. I think that the 90s were the peak of Christopher Walken hair.
I love Christopher Walken.
Yeah. It's one of those bonkers mid-90s kind of horror thriller movies. Like, that was very early days of special effects, so there's not an awful lot of special effects.
The ones that there are, though, are really good.
Are good, yeah.
So good.
And a lot of it is set outside for no reason.
Yeah.
like for no reason. It's weird, like, how many films in the 90s were set just outdoors,
Yeah.
like in the desert.
I'm not sure how much I enjoyed Virginia Madsen with dark hair.
Jim Henson with dark hair was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was kind of giving Shannon
Doherty.
Doherty Charmed era vibes.
Yeah, there was a Shannon Doherty-esque thing. When she first appeared on screen, I was a little bit like, hang on a minute, Shannon Doherty... wait a minute, that's Virginia Madsen. What's going
Virginia Madsen's special enough in her own way to be getting confused with Shannon Doherty. Step away from the hair dye bottle, Virginia.
Yeah. I mean, casting Viggo Mortensen as Lucifer is like chef's kiss.
It is chef's kiss,
Yeah.
He's great.
Eric Stoltz as just a real creepy angel.
Real creepy.
I mean, when you're casting Eric Stoltz in anything, creepy's gonna happen.
Not sure I enjoyed him soul kissing that child.
No,
Literally soul kissing.
I don't think. Like, even in like just like real life, I don't think. I'm not saying he's done anything, but I don't think Eric Stoltz is allowed near children.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, Mark.
Not for like because he's gonna do anything, just because he's a weird guy.
You creep him out.
He would creep them out.
So for anyone that hasn't seen this movie, you're gonna run through the story at all, Mark.
So there's a war going on in heaven.
Second War of
The
Angels.
Second War of Angels.
Because the first War of the Angels was when Lucifer got cast down, wasn't it?
And that created hell. And so there's a
the
second...
most beautiful of God's angels.
Viggo
of
Mortensen.
course, played by Viggo Mortensen.
A 90s Viggo Mortensen as
yeah,
well.
Yeah, hot.
Um,
Viggo Mortensen.
And then, yeah, so this is the second war between the angels.
Which
war
is in the
heaven.
extended cut of the Book of Revelations. Isn't
Yeah, the deleted scene.
deleted
Yeah. the God's director's cut. Or Lucifer's director's or Gabriel. Somebody else's director's
No,
cut.
who had it? It was the man that with no dick, wasn't it?
Azil.
That's it.
Yeah, and so there's this second war going on in heaven, and it's basically being led by Angel Gabriel because he's pissed off with God because God likes us monkeys more than
Because he gave humans souls.
and they didn't have one,
And angels don't have
and
them.
it seems to all be about this real bad guy soul that Gabriel wants because it's a bad soul.
Yeah, because it's going to swing the war in his face.
Yeah, and that's kind of what it's about.
He's a bad dick.
And Adam Goldberg is there as some kind of midway fucking man between death and life.
Oh, is he the meatbag that
Yeah.
is trying to kill himself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's real weird.
Yeah. So we
Right,
all.
so we watched that on a night when I said to Mark, I just fancy watching something real Saturday night, real like big and good, and just like just really fucking good. You know, like a Shawshank or an Apocalypse Now could fill that, or like a recent blockbuster kind of thing. And he comes back with The Prophecy, and I was like, well, he heard my criteria, so I'll give it a chance.
You enjoyed it?
I enjoyed it. It did not fit the criteria though.
Well, fuck you. We also watched
The Substitute. This was another one that was weird.
the Tom Berenger, Ernie Hudson, Mark Antony being threatening, which is just always funny. William
David
Forsythe
Carradine.
being crazy, which is just William Forsythe.
Which one's he?
The fucking one who for no reason seems to fucking hate Indians, but isn't part of the
yeah.
story.
That's
But
probably
at one point is doing like a Indian dance for no reason for like 5 minutes. It's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, he probably deserved to die, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is
Louise
basically
Guzman's in there as well.
Tom Berenger's girlfriend's getting bullied at school as a teacher, so he, despite being a mercenary and having no teaching qualifications, goes to sort it the fuck out, doesn't he?
It's Dan Venora as well, isn't it, as the girlfriend, who seems like she basically went, I've done quite well out of Heat. What can I do with my Heat money with all of this? I am going to spend it all on cocaine and then make The Substitute.
She just seems to me to be, if you wanted Demi Moore, but you couldn't get her.
Yeah, but she's very energetic, isn't she?
Very energetic.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Despite wearing a full leg cast for most of the movie. Yeah.
Why is she wearing a full length cast? It's like a full leg cast because she got her knee busted up.
Yeah.
The Substitute's a bonkers series of movies.
They'd probably just bandage it now, wouldn't they?
Yeah. I mean, it's great. It
is very
a
good.
mercenary becomes a substitute teacher at school and then realises that the school principal, played by Ernie Hudson, is running like a fucking international drug trade through it.
Using school buses.
Yes. It's fucking bonkers.
Ernie Hudson as a bad guy was fun though.
Yeah. Ernie Hudson's a good bad guy.
Mark Anthony's not convincing as a bad
Mark
guy.
Anthony's not convincing as the lead
To be fair,
hoodlum.
Mark Anthony's not convincing as a human.
No.
So there we are on that one.
Yeah, but I enjoyed our rewatch of the Substitute,
Yeah.
and then we also watched.
You can do that. I did the last one.
All right, fine. Didn't know we were batting and forth.
Yeah.
We watched How It Ends, a movie from 2021, written and directed by Daryl Wynn and Zoe Lister-Jones, back when they were a couple. It's written, directed, and produced by those, and it stars Zoe Lister-Jones.
Kaylee
and-
Spenny.
What's her?
Kaylee Spenny.
Kaylee Spenny. And just a load of other people. I'll just run through some of the other people that are in it. Whitney Cummings, Triangle Face himself, Nick Kroll, Glenn Howerton, Bradley Whitford, Olivia Wilde, Paul Shear, Helen Hunt, Colin Hanks, Charlie Day, Pauly Shaw turns up.
Holly Shaw does.
Yeah.
Briefly, yeah.
I mean, I like the fact that all the other people in it, and there's loads more, by the way, all the other people that are in it are playing, like, characters. Pauly Shaw's just playing himself.
Yeah.
And the story is that it is the last day on Earth because a meteorite's going to hit it. And we spend our day with Liza, played by Zoe Lister-Jones, and Callie Spenny, who plays her younger self, who is a metaphysical being that kind of lives with her, but
Yeah.
is her younger self.
Yeah.
Who it turns out that nobody can see, apart from people can occasionally see her now. Now it's the last day on Earth.
Yeah. Yeah.
But only some people can see her, others can't. It's really weird.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just kind of them sort of wandering around on the last day on Earth, and her just trying to kind of like fix a few things.
She's getting her ducks in a row, isn't
She
she?
kind of get her ducks in a row.
Yeah.
And it's just that. And then bumping into like random sort of people along the way.
But she's having like a psychological journey, isn't she?
Yes.
I actually thought this was really good, to be honest.
I actually really quite liked it.
The two
Yeah.
movies we watched today, it was very definitely my favourite.
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed it. It's a series of kind of like fun little vignettes with people.
Yes, yeah, and it's got a lot of the, like, good comedy people, and like,
Yeah.
a lot of people from the League are in there.
Yes. Yeah. But there's not that much. That literally is what it's about. It's them just kind of like it was shot during COVID, and apparently Daryl Wynn and Zoe Lister-Jones literally just text a load of like their mates and just random people that they had in their phones who they didn't even know that well and said that lived near them.
Is that why all the streets are empty?
Yeah.
So no one gets very close to each other.
Yeah,
Oh,
and it was like, it's like, right, do you want to do something fun during, like, I think literally Callie Spenny lives next door to them,
Yeah.
and so it's just that. So a lot of the scenes are shot like around their house, around like people's houses, like the Charlie Day and what's his name? His missus. I can't remember what his missus is called now.
Krista. Mary Elizabeth Ellis?
Why not? Yeah. Like that's literally just in their garden.
Fair.
Yeah. And Paul, Shay and Rob Hummel literally do live next door to each other. And so there's that. So it's kind of it's fun in that way. It's as long as every single movie should be. It's 82 minutes long.
Solid.
And it was a fun watch.
Yeah,
Like,
really.
you know, Callie Spenny's quite good fun to spend time with within it.
She is, yeah.
And the fact that there's a line later on about her walk, and like it's basically she's had to do this walk throughout the entire movie. That while I was watching it, going, she fucking walks weird, man. There's something going on there. And then there's literally a line at the end of it about the way that she walks that you go, fair play, Callie, because you have either that is just the way you walk and it is weird and they've written it into the movie, or you have kept up that walk throughout the entire thing.
Yeah. No, a really, really good, really sweet movie.
Yeah.
About, like, coming to terms with things before you die and stuff like that. Like, her acknowledging that she's basically beaten down her younger self and strangled it up until, and now she's acknowledging it and all this kind of shit. It's really sweet.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
Nice.
Have you watched? What have you watched on your own? Back?
I've only watched one movie on my own. I watched the Omen prequel. No, sorry, Immaculate. Alarming how similar those movies are, isn't it? Even down to the girl out the window thing, and yeah. But do you know what this one has over the Omen one?
The first album, what?
That baby gets fucked up at the end.
Baby does get fucked up at the end.
Oh yeah.
Really enjoyed that. If I just birthed demon spawn, I'd smash it with a rock as well. I wouldn't fucking save it and then go live with it in the woods. What kind of unhinged shit is that? So yeah, I enjoyed Immaculate. Really, really good. I feel like, I mean, obviously we're a bit away from the first Omen now, aren't we? But I think this was gorier.
Yeah, it's definitely gorier.
I enjoyed when she fucked that nun up with a cross.
Yeah, she properly goes to town.
She really does.
She goes
yeah.
murdery, doesn't she?
does,
Quite
yeah.
quickly.
Yeah. She goes from like, I'm gonna just immobilise this nun so that I can escape, to I'm gonna smash the fuck out of this nun's head.
Yeah, it's just if I'm gonna go big.
Yeah, I think she was pissed off about Gwen getting her tongue cut out though, wasn't she?
Yeah, I think that seemed to trip her out a little bit.
Yeah. Shame that she got killed. She seems like a nice lady.
We'll see.
Oh, we won't see. The movie's over. It's done. Can't see there being a sequel. Baby got fucked up. She's just taking care of shit. It's like when you go, like, you watch the first film and you go, well, that kind of behaviour is why you have to make a franchise, because you didn't fuck that baby up. Sydney Sweeney just took care of shit.
Yep.
But was she gnawing through the umbilical cord? Didn't enjoy that. No, thank you.
There's a lot of criticism about movies not going just pussying out at the end and not going hard. It's like the Immaculate went, oh my fucking beer, dickheads.
Yeah. No, really, really enjoyed it.
What a picture. I mean, I've only watched 2 on my own, and it's ones I spoke about. I rewatched Will Gluck's debut, Fired Up.
Fired Up.
A movie that just couldn't be made now.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah. About 2 guys who decide to ditch football camp to go to cheer camp to just hook up with girls.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of funny. And I watched Major League 2. A movie that I saw at the cinema when it came out.
Who'd you go with?
On my own. It basically is just it's a rehashing of Major League, but except we don't have Wesley Snipes playing Willie Mays Hayes in this one. We have Omar Epps playing Willie Mays Hayes in this one.
Fair.
It's weird that this movie got made, what with the fact that Major League was like 5 years before, so this sequel happened 5 years later, but in the movie it happens 5 months later.
Oh, right, okay.
But Charlie Sheen looks like he's aged about 25 years. Within it. I think the only reason why it probably got made is they wanted to kind of trade off the fact that Charlie Sheen had just done the Hot Shots movies and was a big comedy star at this point. And so I think that was there. But yeah, also another Tom Berenger movie that I watched this week. Yeah, he's in there as well. Yeah, not a great amount. It's also at points it's a little bit. Not really sure that they can do that nowadays. At points, but yeah, not a total loss. What have you been up to, Ian?
Okay, so I've got a few. Took another go at Anyone But You. Watched it with Don on Friday night, and I mean, like Donna watches and has watched a good many more rom-coms than I. She wasn't very impressed, and I think that kind of like lowered my feeling on it by osmosis. It is quite shonkily put together. Is Anyone But You. Like, there's stuff in the credits that's kind of like just obviously bits of deleted scenes that they're just putting in the credits for just like funny little bits there. And do Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney have chemistry? I'm unsure, but hot girl fit, very funny. The mumbly girl who looks like she has a secret line, great. Brian Brown MVP. And yeah, I like Anyone But You. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the last time I watched it. But yeah, there we are.
Is it the extended cut that's on Netflix?
I don't know. It's just whatever version was on Apple, but I don't remember it being extended. Yeah. Rewatched The Night Comes for Us, which I started a couple weeks back, but for obvious reasons that wasn't a film that I quite felt like watching last week. But I finished him off this morning. That film, it's way too plotty, but it makes up for it in the fact that I saw one Letterboxd review basically say, like, I'm paraphrasing, but I never knew I wanted the action of the raid and the splatter of Peter Jackson's Dead Alive combined in a film, but here we are.
I've not seen it, but I have heard it is incredibly violent.
It's fucking ridiculous. I mean, like in the best way. It's really gnarly, and just on occasion it holds on shots of people not having a great time. And yeah, it gnarly. Is the phrase. I won't spoil the ending just in case you do ever watch it as well, but it's basically got like some of the best like last 20 seconds you'll ever see. Really kind of almost sums up the film as well. I'm a fan of The Night Comes for Us. It's the second time I've seen it, and I thought it held up well, but the plot of it all, they do spend too much on that. I think it's like an hour 45, and you're kind of willing it to be more like a straight 90. Actually, it might be 2 hours, but
2 hours, yeah.
Yeah, it's long.
I think that's what's always put me off. Is it's a little bit like I like extreme violence. I feel like extreme violence is a 95-minute limit.
Yeah, I no, I could get that. I get that. So yeah, that's The Night Comes for Us. Also, been continuing on my rewatch the Daniel Craig Bonds. So I talked about Casino Royale last week. Watched Quantum of Solace, which I like Quantum of Solace. I've kind of I think I've fully made my peace with it. It is for me the worst of the Craig films, and like a decent gap of worst.
I'm always with Quantum of Solace is that it's nowhere near as bad as people will tell me it is. So I feel like I defend it too much. Like, I don't even think it's that great. I just don't think it's as bad as people try and tell me it is.
The thing is, if you view it as the sequel to Casino Royale in terms of what it's doing with like the Vesper of it all, I think it actually works pretty well. It is a man basically on a bit of a vengeance mission, and by the end of it, he's got a form of closure. Like there's a good James Bond character arc between the two. However, the plot itself is not nearly as involving as Casino Royale. Matthew Almeric is a real step down from Mads Mikkelsen. The Olga Kurylenko character feels like it's a Bond girl because they needed a Bond girl, but because it's a Bond girl, he doesn't shag. You've got Gemma Arterton turning up in a trench coat, which, I mean, that is awful. Like, the idea of that character is awful, except for the fact that she, spoiler alert for Quantum of Solace, she gets killed off, and Judi Dench is like, she was just sent to bring you in, and now look what's happened to her because of you. Which I think is interesting, because through the Craig films, that kind of shit happens a lot.
Yeah, it does actually, doesn't it?
Because it happens in Skyfall. It's basically implied it's gonna happen in Spectre with Monica Bellucci's character. It's interesting that. So yeah, it's a film that did get a bit fucked by the writer's strike at the time, and apparently like Daniel Craig was trying to come up with shit on set and all sorts of stuff. But it is a real step down from Casino Royale. And if Casino Royale wasn't as good as it was, then I think people would probably look on Quantum of Solace a bit more fondly. They'd probably also look on it more fondly if it wasn't for the fact that Skyfall then takes another step back up. Skyfall is not as good as Casino Royale, and at least in my mind at the moment, not as good as No Time to Die. I think they do some 50th anniversary of Bond playful stuff in it, which at times I think actually brushes up against the somewhat like a kind of more insular, one-offy nature that Skyfall kind of is. Because this one is like essentially Javier Bardem going after Judi Dench. But it looks incredible. Roger Deakins was nominated for the Oscar. I think he didn't win for this, then he won for Blade Runner 2049 and 1917, like 2 years in a row, or some, if memory serves.
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, but this looks phenomenal. Thomas Newman's score is cracking as well. Like, it's a really, really, really classy production, which then has a third act where it's basically Bond does Home Alone, which is really weird, but yeah. I quite like it. I quite like it though. Like, there's a big action sequence kind of immediately before that where it kind of ends with Javier Bardem blowing up the train tunnel and basically him throwing a tube train at Bond.
But he's got to time that really well.
Look, honestly, the questions you could ask about the logic of Skyfall, it is Yeah, it is. So hang on, Javier Bardem actually wanted to be captured so he could escape, but wouldn't it have been a lot easier if he just travelled to London without engaging Bond and just rocked up at that hearing and killed Judi Dench?
That's it. It just seems like he could have done that.
Yeah. There is that with this film. So like I say, the Casino Royale I think is maybe the perfect blockbuster. Like No Time to Die. I've just the thing that was a film that I was waiting for what, like 2 years. Or like a year and a half because of COVID. So that film has a very, very special place in my heart, which maybe I can't be objective about. Because, I mean, honestly, man, Casino Royale, I mean, you agree as well, Mark. I know you do.
I do, yeah.
What a film.
It genuinely is one of the top, I think you could argue that it's one of the top 10 movies of that decade.
Yeah. So, no, I think I'd vibe with that. So, yeah, I feel for Quantum of Solace because I gave it short shrift at the time as well. That film's okay. That film's all right. And if, like I say, if you think of it as like the culmination of the arc established in the end of Casino Royale, I think it helps.
I think for my feelings always Quantum of Solace is it's the worst Craig Bond, but it's still better than a lot of the other Bonds.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah. No, exactly. I mean, I'm really, as we know, I'm really, really fond of the Bond films, but there will be some that I like that I know are shit. Live and Let Die is really fucking problematic. I eat that shit, but I will eat that film up with a spoon. But then also there are awful Bond films, like Diamonds Are Forever is a terrible movie. It is a terrible film, and there are others that are shonky. That unfortunately Brosnan. The World Is Not Enough and Die Another Day are not great. I don't think they're awful, but they're not great. So this is the thing, Craig. I've got about an hour left of Spectre, and I like Spectre. The Blofeld being Bond's adopted brother stuff is rough, and just why did they even bother?
Yeah, there's an element of you didn't need that.
Yeah, but
that's like somebody had that idea and they didn't want to tell that person it was a bad idea, so they just went with it.
Yeah. But it's also got Daniel Craig saying he's going to call Andrew Scott C. And Andrew Scott's like, you really don't have to, you can call me Max. And Bond just going, no, I'm going to call you C. It's like, yeah, I'd call Andrew Scott C as well. Fucking good on you. Anyway, I'll talk more about Spectre next week. Last one for me. John McTiernan's Basic. So I alluded to this. I alluded to this last week and I finished him off. That film, talking about too much plot, fuck me. That film's all over the bloody shop. Like,
a lot going on, isn't there?
I mean, like, just twist after twist after twist after twist. And, like, by the end, where it's... Spoiler alert for Basic. Samuel L. Jackson's not even dead. The whole film's been about who killed him. He's not even dead. And, in fact, he's working with John Travolta, who doesn't even work in the army, and was called in to do the Inquisition by his friend, who turns out to be one of the bad guys, but thankfully, he's in place to do that. Just what? And it's kind of almost like a recruitment exercise to see if Connie Nielsen's got the chops or something. It was fucking wild. Yeah, just absolutely batshit. Kind of feels like a stage play, except with shitloads of rain and atmosphere, which McTiernan is absolutely bringing to the party.
Oh, he loves that shit, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. And then Giovanni Ribisi doing a voice and then dying in the most overblown vomiting of blood you'll ever see in a film that's not taking the piss. Yeah. He seems to just throw up all of the blood in his body.
Yeah.
Wild fucking film. Wild film to go out on as well, if it is the last one McTiernan makes. I mean, not as wild as Rollerball. Like, Basic is alright. You know, it's not in his top 5, but it's not his worst. But yeah, just absolutely batshit film. But enjoyed my time with it, I won't lie. It's on Amazon Freevee in the UK. Fucking horrible transfer. And an ad literally came on when Travolta was halfway through a line at one point.
Yeah,
So
time though, as well.
I'm going to be honest. When we started watching it on Freevee, didn't we? And I turned around to Becky about 5 minutes in and went, "Not a fucking chance. This looks worse than the DVD copy we've got upstairs." And so we watched it by other means.
yeah, no, I mean the transfer is rough on Freevee, but hey, did the job. Wanted to watch it, and I did. That's me.
Sweet.
Twitter questions.
Ooh, we've got a few this week, which is quite good because
Sweet.
Yeah,
We're running short.
barreled through this motherfucker.
It is in like 3 days since we last recorded.
Incidentally,
absolutely.
our audience poll on challenges was
shit, yeah.
Definite Shit 57%, Touching Cloth 14%, and Geostorm 29%.
That's more mixed than I thought it would be. That makes me feel better.
Yeah, it is actually, isn't it? Dylan Black Lanterns. With both Mission Impossible and Fast and Furious films having slight retools, which film has a better chance of sticking the landing to appropriately close off the film series?
I'm a little bit. If it's not Mission Impossible, I'll eat my shoe.
Yeah, the answer is Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so.
I have a feeling they done gone. I enjoyed Dead Reckoning. I need to rewatch it because I think it ended up in a different movie than what I thought it was, and I think that impacted me on it. I think I have a theory that in the writing of that, they were thrown a little bit by Becky Ferg saying that this was going to be her last one. And her also... It would seem like I was reading something about it that basically said that they only had her for a certain amount of time, and because production kept on getting shifted, that time was running out because she was making... Is it Silo?
Sure.
She was making that, which is a show that I think she's executive producer on, and bits, isn't she? And so I have a feeling that it was that they had to kind of very quickly kind of go, right, we need to shorten that character's story. 'Cause she does literally, spoiler alert for a film that was on out last year, but she just dies like halfway through that movie.
Really unceremoniously.
Yeah, and it just feels a little bit like it was, almost like they'd filmed up to a point and she was like, no, I need to get off now. And they're like, but we literally haven't filmed you dying. So yeah, I genuinely, I'm not sure how many people would give a shit now if Fast 11 just didn't happen.
Yeah.
Every bit of fucking of energy or air has gone out of that balloon. I do get the feeling though that we are not too far off The Rock just going, fuck it, I know me and Uncle Vin hate each other, but it's a well I might need to go back to.
Yeah, not.
I mean, when's that scheduled to be out? Next year, isn't it?
Yeah, but
it's going to be 2026.
It's going to be 26. It's got to be,
because they've not even started. I don't think they've announced a director yet, have they? No. It's all very much. Everybody's signed on, I think, until 2026. And then what else have we got? Are you movie mad? If you were given the chance to cast challengers based on actors age appropriate when you were in your early 20s, who would make your trifecta?
Oh, God.
Dunst.
That's strong, that is.
I mean, not just because she was in Wimbledon, but like, yeah, there would be some like Ian might pass out in the cinema stuff for if it was Dunst 20 years ago for me. I won't lie. But the boys, Joshua Jackson
as Mike Feist, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that'll do. The thing is, I'm thinking Tobey Maguire because A, I'm lazy, but B, because he just was a bit of a scumbag with women in real life, and I could see him being the Josh O'Connor type.
What did you say, that Joe Manganiello thing? Where he said that because Tobey Maguire was not popular on set of Spider-Man, that in the fight thing that they have, he said a lot of the people around it offered me money to just punch him in real life. In the, what is it? And I thought I'd like to, but I also want to work again.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Bex?
I don't know, Kirsten's one's a good shout for the girl.
That's a good shout for the girl, yeah.
I can't remember who was popular actors.
Well, I have a guy. I have a good strong for a guy. For the is it Josh O'Connor? Is it?
The bad
Yeah.
boy role.
Yeah, James Marsden.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, he could pull that off.
Scarlett Johansson would have worked back in the back
And
in that
she was
time
in
as
Match
well.
Point, wasn't she?
Yeah. So there you go. I'm just being unoriginal again.
I think who else could have as the other guy? It's got to be somebody who looks like they could physically play tennis. Because my brain keeps going Ben Foster, but it's no, he wouldn't. No, he doesn't.
Hang on, what year are we thinking?
So we've got to go. Ooh. What about Michael Pitt?
You could play the good boy one, I guess.
Yeah, Michael Pitt and the Mike Feist. James Marsden as the as the absolute bastard. And who else? I'm trying to think of who was around female actress-wise when I was in my early 20s. And Kate Hudson.
Natalie Portman, it suggested. Fucking hell, can you imagine? No, thank you. Keira Knightley.
I think Anne Hathaway could pull it off.
Anne Hathaway?
She could pull off that I'm better than you dickhead energy.
Oh, hottest actor of the decade, 2000. Ryan Gosling. He would have been too young then, wouldn't he?
I think probably a little bit too young, yeah.
Maybe Goose would have been good in that, though.
No,
right
I'm not
age.
thinking it.
Ryan Philippe.
God, that does feel like a movie that Ryan Philippe might have been in.
Yeah.
Do you remember when the late 90s, early 90s tried to convince us that Ryan Philippe was a good looking guy?
Ashton Kutcher. Adam Brody, I could see being in it, to be fair.
No. No, just no. I like Adam Brody, but Adam Brody thinks everything is funny. So it'd have just been funny.
God, we had some fucking weird ones, didn't we?
Let's be honest,
Michael Murray
it'd have been
was
Chad
a-
Michael Murray and it'd have been terrible.
Yeah.
Next question.
Yeah, go for it.
Rick Kidd, rewatched X-Men First Class earlier. Kevin Bacon was clearly having fun as the villain. What are your favourite Kevin Bacon films?
Oh.
I'm going to go in strong and say Becky's going to say Stir of Echoes.
Becky was going to say Stir of Echoes, yeah. Well, Becky was going to say, what's that girl one with the girl
I know.
where she's been in a wall?
I know, but I was
You
predicting the
preempted.
fact that you were going to say that, so I thought I'd say Stir of Echoes to kind of cover for the fact that you can never remember what Stir of Echoes is called.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
I mean, you destroyed it by just saying, "What's that one called?" Even though I just literally handed it to you on a fucking plate.
I know you just...
Try to look at what.
I mean, Tremors for me.
Tremors is a fucking good movie.
I mean, the correct answer is Stir of Echoes.
Kevin Bacon filmography. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
What?
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
What is he in that?
He's the guy that he races for the taxi at the beginning.
Oh, barely in it.
I mean, yeah, that's yeah.
Fuck off, Mark.
A Few Good Men. That's a good one. What else have we got? Mystic River is a good movie.
Yeah. A great depressing fucking movie.
Yeah, it's a fucking depressing movie. Really, it's a good looking movie as well. Like a grim kind of way. There's some really good. I'm trying to remember who shot it. It's Tom Stern who did the cinematography on it. Odd career that guy's had.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had a really big 90s. Original Flatliners is a good movie. I always like Wild Things for the fact that he sued himself.
He sued himself.
So there's a shot of Kevin Bacon's dick in Wild Things. It was supposed to come out in the edit. It didn't come out in the edit. So he sued the production company because of it. But it was his production company. So it ended up costing him money to sue himself. I mean, Kevin Bacon does not have a lot of luck with money.
No.
But yeah, that's another one of those ones where just stop listening to yourself. Yeah. And Hollow Man, where he plays an invisible rapist.
Yeah, he does play an invisible rapist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it for Twitter questions this week. But thank you very much for those. Good questions this week. Really good. What are we covering next week, Ian?
Okay, so next week it's the Fall Guy.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I'm looking forward to that. We'll also cover Love Lies Bleeding. So, and I believe Bex is going to see Boy Kills World. I don't think I'm going to make it to Boy Kills World before it gets unceremoniously yanked from UK cinemas. Probably next week, but Bex is going to see it.
Are we doing Humane?
Oh, is that the Cronenberg's daughter one?
The Caitlin Cronenberg one, yeah.
I'm keen for that.
I haven't even seen a trailer for it. How body horror-y is it looking?
Doesn't look that body horror, really. So the premise is taking place for one day and a mere months after global ecological collapse has forced world leaders to take extreme measures to reduce the Earth's population. So basically, it's 20% of the Earth's population has to be reduced.
Right.
And you've got this family where the parents say that they're volunteering.
Yeah.
For it. And then when the exterminators literally come to take them away, the mother has done a runner. And the exterminators are going, look, we're here to pick up 2 bodies. So we're taking 2 bodies. So he's one. Basically, we're taking another one. We'll let you guys decide. But if you don't, we're going to come in and start taking one of you. And so it's basically all in a house and them just trying to kill each other. But it doesn't appear to be like Cronenbergian, like Brandon Cronenberg and David Cronenberg.
Fair.
Okay. All right.
So
Also,
Love Lies Bleeding.
90 minutes.
Love Lies Bleeding, Humane. What was the other one?
Fall Guy.
Fall Guy.
Oh, Fall Guy, of course.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's a good week, that.
Yep, nice. Okay, so that'll do. Thank you very much for listening, folks. What the fuck? Bruce Springsteen live in Cardiff next week, really? Sorry, I just had an email.
Is what?
Bruce Springsteen playing Cardiff next week. Bloody hell.
Week?
Really?
Quick. I thought it was like June.
That's not right, Ticketmaster, is it? Sunday, 5th of May. Bloody hell.
Oh.
I tell you what, sorry, it just came off on my emails. The fact there's like resale tickets going for £100 each, that's not that bad.
No, it's because of dynamic pricing screwed everything. That's happened a lot with a lot of tickets for a lot of things where people are basically saying now, because I mean, like, he's playing. Yeah, some of the other ones are in like. Yes, there. May. Yes, so May is like the UK dates, and there's some in July as well. it's a bit of a scattergun tour. This one, it's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Like I say, we were gonna go on it, but it's just I couldn't. I'm a little bit. My stubbornness has kicked in, and I'm like, I can't. When it's having to go somewhere and stay somewhere, I can't justify for tickets for 2 people £250, and then another £150 on a hotel because they know Bruce Springsteen is in town.
Yeah.
And then another £100 on the night out. That's like you're talking like £600-700.
It's ridiculous.
And it's just a bit like it's getting to the point now where gigs are the same price as like a full blown weekend away or a possible even week's holiday. It's just wild. You know, and I get it. There'll be people out there who have never seen Springsteen who will pay it, and I'm not saying, well, you know, I don't need to because I've already seen him. I would still like to see him again, but I mentally can't justify it to myself.
Yeah, quite. I mean that's it. I'm fine that I've seen Springsteen once. I'm cool with that personally. So yeah, but anyway, yeah. Sorry, a bit random. Just as we were finishing that, but yeah. Thank you very much, Mark.
Thank you very much, Ian.
Thank you very much, Becky.
Thank you very much, Ian.
And Jason. Fuck you. Bye.
Bye.